Hello, everybody. It's Colette from the Sacred Rose Temple, and I'm glad to be back in France to give you this energy forecast. Well, I'm feeling really tired for my journey. Have been over in England at Beaver Castle with the Duchess of Rutland. She is my friend, one of my spiritual connections, and we are boiling in the bag, something that we feel mutually we could work on. It's all under hats at the moment, but that will soon come out, and I will be traveling forward and backward to England quite a while right now. Thank you for all your interest in the current situation. My house is still for sale. My best friend is still buying it, but her property fell through. So we're just waiting for a new buyer. So everything is going ahead as proposed and spoke about. But for now, I'm just kind of grounded here and we'll be traveling forward and backward until that sale happens. So that's the update from my part of the world. But let's talk about what's happening to all of us as we come up to this very, very powerful solar eclipse. And we're hearing all about it all over the internet, all over the news. And so we should. This celestial miracle is really something that our ancient ancestors would have also really revered. They would have felt the energy. They would know that this would bring great change. It would change things, especially around the part of the wheel that it was sat in. We're sat in Leo. This is a Leo eclipse, and that makes it even more significant in the fact that this will affect our courage, the way we present ourselves, visibility, and the energy of the king. So I think that we could see lots of things in politics around the energy of king in us as well. Because remember, the king is an archetype that's held within all of society. So I feel there will be a lot of revealing. I've been sharing that for weeks. It really feels to me as though this is the time where the persona and the mask and the facade is going to drop. People are going to see the truth of who we are. I feel that as well. Like I did a practice this morning where I truly felt this space inside of me that hasn't been revealed and that has been protected by defense. So I want you to think about that. What part of you has been hidden? What part of yourself have you been hiding? This eclipse will really help you remove that disguise and be able to come out in a more authentic version of yourself. We're going to find that in the celebrity world, it's already being exposed that it's quite dark and that the symbology that's been used in it for years is began to be understood by humanity. I, for one, for years have been sharing about the symbolic impact of celebrity culture and what that really stands for because I studied symbology. And so I think that's going to become more apparent. It's going to get more dark out there. We're getting really immune to the fact that these horrible things are happening, which is really frightening for us as humanity. And this is all that kind of eclipse energy, because eclipse is about the light being shadowed. It goes dark, and that is representative of the shadow. That is revealing us the darker aspects of not only ourselves, but of the world, of the structure, of your relationship, of the job you are in. And so this eclipse will highlight that. The eclipse energy is not for manifesting. It's not used as a manifestation tool, and you should absolutely refrain from manifesting. I won't be out there celebrating it or doing anything like that. I will be in introspect. I will be allowing the energy, the sacred energy of the eclipse to highlight for me where is in shadow, what has been operating underneath a persona, what parts of me haven't been valid or able to come through because of deep wounding, hurt, or pain, or childhood. It's going to be around those things. So it's already been happening. If you have been feeling restless, emotionally heightened, unusually sensitive, or if there's tension between the life you're living and the one you want to live, then this is astrologically symbolic of the eclipse. It is exposure. Think of that word. This is an exposure, not in the way that it is meant to shame you or make you feel like naked and vulnerable, but literally an exposure of something that has been hidden, that has been preventing you, that hasn't been integrated. So the truth that lies within you is trying to come to light. Yesterday, when I was traveling, the moon was moving through Cancer, so that could be quite emotional. It's reminding us of something. I had a deep, profound feeling yesterday, having spent my time at the castle within this structure, that really deep in my past, I lived within these lands and I lived that way of life. And it's always been part of me, actually. I am obsessed with vintage and antiques, and the way I decorate my home is that of like a castle. I've always felt it. And I had a real big flashback while working on the mound there of my time there and how incarnation changes and how certain things happen to us and how we get given all these different lives in a lifetime to experience and experiment. These are the kinds of things that's going to be coming up as this eclipse. We may have lots of past life memories. If you want to do that, there is a practice I'll be putting in my inner temple to really try to get you to home into that past part of you, that ancient part of you that wants to recalibrate and do something. So it's asking, who are we? Yesterday's moon in Cancer is like, who really are we? And what have I been hiding? And I really feel that for me, that there's this space in me that I'm hiding. And actually, that's the new life I'm going to propel myself into because I feel I could do more good there. And I think that's been one of my life lessons is maybe I didn't do so good there. And maybe it's now time for me to do more good in a space that is more affluential, in a space that has the environment in which I can bring my work out more thoroughly. So that's just a little reflection of mine. But I want you to take this to you and think about where in your body have you been feeling tension recently, and what emotion keeps returning, what keeps returning. I spoke to somebody this weekend about it. If depression returns to you, if a set emotion keeps returning to you, it's trying to lead you to something. So, what emotion keeps returning despite your attempts to magic mushroom it away, holistic it away, yoga it away? It keeps coming back because you need to address it. You need to sit and face it under this portal. I think that will be really helpful. As we go into today, we've got Venus, my favorite Venus, is being and activating Pluto, Neptune, and Uranus. She's busy. And I think there's a couple of fascinating things this week, not only the eclipse, but Venus and how she's acting, and Mercury. I can't cover it all in a little report, but I will be doing some additions this week on my posts on my Facebook page and on my Instagram. So just check those out because I'll be adding information. I don't think it's any good to be bombarded with all of this stuff. We don't tend to integrate it or to do anything with it. So try to really feel into it. I think that what happens with Venus is that she is trying to symbolize our value by hitting Pluto, Neptune, and Uranus. This is all about your desire and your self worth and how your soul genuinely wants to move forward. That could be within your work, it could be within your relationships, it could be everything. For me, it feels like everything. I have had really big insights on the way I've been relating with people, good and bad. The patterns I've been in with people that I don't want to be in again. And it's no projection. I'm not blaming anyone. I'm taking full responsibility for my participation and my behavior in those situations and trying to move on from it and thinking in a new environment. Nothing's going to change unless I change, honestly. So think about the things that you've been involved in, behaving in, and how that could change for you and how you could move forward so that you don't stay in the old pattern of you. The Venus is trying to bring your soul to move gently forward, and certain psychological themes with Venus will begin to reveal themselves. So, for example, in Pluto, you have been burying a desire And maybe that's making you sick. Maybe that's making you depressed. But this desire that you've been burying would completely change your life, completely. And if you keep hiding it, it's going to rot. It really will rot inside you. It will make you sick. It will make you depressed. It will make things worse for you. So, what is happening inside of you that Neptune could completely change if you address it? Neptune is that dreamy energy. You've been dreaming about another life. Find yourself when you catch yourselves in the moments of how life could be different. How could life be different for me? What do I dream about when I get a moment to sit down? And Neptune's really asking you to do that. How much time are you sitting and observing? How much time are you giving space to feel what you really want rather than just being busy, 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 busy to avoid making the decisions that your psyche and soul needs? It's really important. Where is life getting you to convince that this desire, this dream is unrealistic? And I hear this all the time. People say, oh, I would love to, I'll go to Italy one day, or I could just run off and go to this place and life will be better. That's a desire. And there's some part of you that thinks it's unrealistic. Well, it's not. You can put this plan into action. And Uranus, Venus in Uranus is really doing that. She's saying to Uranus, what one step forward could you take to that desire that you keep daydreaming about or feeling is unrealistic? Desire in you that you are repressing is really being felt right now. It's not trying to hurt you or punish you or send you to the loony bin or to the depression clinic. It's trying to awaken you. It's really trying to show you what in your life needs to change. Stop pretending that it doesn't. Stop hiding it. Stop making yourself busy. Stop drinking it away, eating away, starving it away. Stop avoiding it. Sit and face the dragon, the demon, the dark in the room, and say, this is what is preventing me, because I have a deep desire in me. And if I don't unleash this beast right now, it's going to take me down further. It's going to make me sicker. It's going to make me more depressed. It really is time right now to stop hiding what you really want and to just stop being in the rat race of the life you have got used to that's easier to carry on, but is making you sick, ill, bored, depressed, whatever that is. As we go into Wednesday, we all know, obviously, that it's the eclipse. This is the heart of the week. And because it's in Leo, like I've said, it's full of that energy that wants to be seen. Something in you wants to be seen, wants to be visible. But Leo's also of the heart as well. So where are you going to start living from this heart space and end the performance of the life or the persona that you've been carrying for so long? We've built identities and ways of living to survive. That might be the good girl or the great man, you know, the people pleaser, the achiever, the rescuer, the boss woman, whatever that is. These identities once protected you beautifully, but now they are ruining your life. So you have to get rid of what's artificial, what's making you sick, ill, depressed, down, before it destroys you. And this Leo eclipse is that portal that can do it. Everything has a price with this eclipse. The receipts come in. You cannot ignore and avoid anymore, or I'm telling you, it will take you down. If you are brave enough to make the movement away from that, then your heart will explode. You will live a life of more joy. You will be more of the things that you want. This is the opportunity. Take it. What if your real life could begin? The one that you sit fantasizing about, the one that you feel would bring you loads of joy, the one that would stop that cancer returning, the one that would stop that depression coming back, the one that would stop you being in conflict with everyone around you. What are those things around you and why are they there? It's because an old version of you is still trying to battle that dragon, and that dragon needs slaying in the energy of the eclipse. So that's how we use it. Sit on Wednesday in the eclipse as it's happening. Let it reveal the truth of what you're hiding from yourself and what needs to change. Journal, write it down. After the eclipse, you'll get the chance to start to take some actions and make some decisions from that. On Thursday, the 13th of August, Mars enters Cancer. And Mars changes signs this week. It symbolizes how we take the action that the eclipse reveals. So Cancer asks us to reveal our emotional truth rather than being defensive. No, my life's all right. No, the relationship's all right. It's asking you to face an emotional truth. And it will ask you to be truthful about how you're trying to stay emotionally safe in an environment that is making you sick. So perhaps we've become endlessly capable. Maybe we're just over busy. Maybe we're just always doing to avoid sitting with ourselves. Mars asks you, can you stop fighting to face yourself? Can you actually remove the defenses and the protection and look at yourself radically and say, this version of myself needs to change? Because there's nobody on this planet alive that does not need to make massive changes. That is why our astrology is so crazily busy and trying to influence our psyche so much, because it's invoking change and evolution. And we need that. And you need the courage to face yourself and make the changes. Because if you can make those changes, it's really trying to bring in a better life, a more harmonious, joyful way of living. By Friday, I know we're going to need a week's holiday after this, honestly. By Friday, we've got 6 planets aligning and several planets from the sky. And I'll report about this later. I'll do a post about this. Begin to create a visual display of the recalibration of order. We need disorder to have sacred order. There's a really famous Jung quote that says, in the cosmological chaos comes divine order. That's what happens. We can feel, if we truthfully look at ourselves, and this is if you do the work, this is if you look at yourself, that many parts might start to connect and you think, wow, if I do that, it might lead to this and this and this. And then that would be completely life-changing for you. You can start to take the steps towards them. The scattered pieces that your life will feel from actually admitting all of this will find direction, and it will take you into the direction of your life that you should be living. And I want to say by Saturday, we've got Mercury meeting Jupiter in Leo. Mercury's doing lots of work as well this week, and I'll write more about that in my inner temples on my social media. One of the favorite aspects is that Mercury does govern the mind. It's all about communication. We'll be getting lots of ideas about what we want to do next if we do the work. And then Jupiter expands whatever it touches. So I really want to reiterate here. I work with a lot of people that think that doing drum circles, spiritual circles, doing all of this changes them, and then they wonder why they keep getting sick or the same thing keep happening over and over again. The inner work takes you to take a look honestly. It takes change. Things must change. You can't go away to a week in an ayahuasca retreat and come back and start living the same. Nothing is integrated. When you go away and do an ayahuasca retreat, you come back, you have to integrate the changes. You have to do what it says, or it will continue going over, and actually your mental state, your health will get worse. Those of us that have done that know this. I've done both. I've taken practices and done nothing with them and nothing's changed. I've done practices, gone away, come back on pilgrimage and changed my life because the medicine told me to do that. This is the medicine that's trying to do that. Only you don't need to drink an exotic jungle medicine. You have to sit with yourself and go inward. That's possible. We don't need these things. We can do this, but we refuse to because it's painful, because it takes changes that you don't want to make. And if you don't make them, now it changes. So this is all about hearing your own voice speak. Mercury in Leo is like, what is my inner voice saying? Can I sit still enough? Can I not take that drink? Can I not go to the gym? Can I not do things that is avoiding that inner voice speaking to me? What is it trying to say? You're scared of it. You're scared of what it says because it invokes change in your life. And by Saturday, you get the choice. You get the choice to listen to the inner voice, and maybe you just will avoid it again. Or you listen to it and you say, this scares me, but you know what? I've got to make the changes. This will allow you to be more authentically you, and to express yourself more authentically by living the life that you should be living, not the one that you are tolerating now because you're like, oh, hey ho, this is just the way it is. It really isn't. By Sunday, I think it's going to be a day we're all going to need some deep integration. The eclipse will still be unfolding, it will still be revealing, and you can sit with yourself and ask yourself, what truth can I no longer pretend I don't know? Where am I invited to become more visible in my own life? And which part of me is asking to come home? I'll post them in my inner temple. So, and a range of other questions with an archetype that will really help you work with the energy this week. But the themes this week is really not asking you to become somebody new, but asking you to stop abandoning that real version of you that you are with this plastic, false, whatever persona, or a life you've led for far too long now, far too long. That's not evolution, to always be doing the same, to always hold the same workplace, persona, behavior, daily routine. That's a prison sentence. You need to change up, mix up, go to a path that's pointing you towards it. If you don't know what it is, sit with it, pray for it, ask for it. I put a post in on my wall on Facebook about what to do when you don't know what to do, and that's there for you to take a look at. It's a very simple practice, and it just means you sitting there and following the steps. There are 4 simple steps, and seeing what comes. We're so used to pushing, forcing, hiding, avoiding everything that we rarely give time for true transformation. So this is really about having a deep courage to be really, truly who you are. So I think that's super important for all of us. Everyone I've met recently seems to be going through the same things: sickness, illness, depression, conflicts within family situations, the same old coming up, feeling stuck, nothing's moving, expecting a thunderbolt miracle to come down and change life for them. It's not going to happen. You are the thunderbolt miracle that's trying to change your life into a new version. That's going to take authentic truth, action, and some change, and a whole lot of courage. So I'm really wishing you well for this week. It's a difficult week. Yeah, it is. I'm not going to say it isn't. It's going to be a difficult week, but it is going to be the transformation that we've been hoping for. If we can just sit with the content and say, okay, these are the movements that I'm going to take next. I've been working on this, and movements happening for me. Finally, I'm starting to think the right plan that's coming forward. It's not as pushing, it's not as concrete, it's quite fluid, but it's definitely leading to me to those things that I've admitted that I am not receiving here living in France. The connection, the community, the type of community that would work for me and my work. So, yeah, big changes for me, but the changes are coming in differently than I would have tried to control. Rather, they are making me move with them step by step. I've talked about this a lot in the previous forecasts. So a lot. I'm going to try to abbreviate these within my inner temple. I'm really feeling the energy to put in a feminine rose group on my website that is accessible to women, where we do a monthly feminine mysteries practice together and do questions like this, really working on internal change for the psyche. So I'll be revealing more about that in the up and coming weeks. But for now, the temple, don't forget my inner temple, every energy forecast that I do, I do a detailed breakdown of it with questions for each of the planetary movements that you can sit and work on, and an archetypal guide that will help you call her in to work with you during this week. And so you get that 4 reports every month, and it's €22. It's nothing. So the link will be under the video for that place. And just a reminder that in September, I am also launching the Course Creators course. Many women that I work with are amazing, full of amazing gifts and amazing ideas. And this course is going to allow you to walk away with a course that comes from your soul, with your gifts, your ideas, with the structure of that course ready for you to teach. So look out for that. I'll put the link underneath it. It's a 7-week course. It's a short course, and you will come away with in your hand a PDF with all your new course broke down week by week with the objectives, the aims, and ideas for all the visuals and the lessons. So I'm really super looking forward to bringing lots more women into their power and being able to share their gift in the world. There's so many people need help out there, so many. The evolution of all of us doing the work. We've been doing the work. There's people coming on board now, more people coming on board. They need our guidance. They need our support. They need our help. Remember when we first started, how it's so blind in a dark tunnel. So let's really try to realize that we can be of service. We can be of more community. That's a big theme. We need to work towards community. So yeah, I'll leave it there. But I'm wishing you lots of love and support, and just saying, take care for now. It is a big week, and I hope you really use it well. Bye for now.